celebration, I might have a toast with you. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, I'm terrific. We ain't taking no losses, we winning. Undefeated, check the percentage.
Yo, what's good, man? Shout out
What's
everybody
going
in the
on?
building, man. I got my boy in the building, man. Viker podcast, man. Shout out my guy. Last time we had a show, it was lit. You know what I'm saying? We had a good old time, man. So, yeah, man. Sorry for the delay, everybody. You feel me? Hey, your boy's internet went out as I was loading up the show, man. So I'm going off of my phone hotspot right now, man. That's how that we doing whatever it take to get it. You feel me? Like whatever it take to get it, man. But shout out my boy Travis in the building, man. How you feeling, man?
What's going on, man? I'm feeling good, man. Waiting on this training camp to start. Waiting on this college football 25 to drop. Just enjoying the summer,
Facts.
man. Yeah, man.
Facts, man. I'm ready for the. All right, so I downloaded for the ones on Twitter. I went ahead and downloaded it today, man. Hopefully, I can get the benefits of playing it early. You know, I don't know, man. I just bought the basic version, but I don't know. We're gonna see. But if not, man, next Friday I'm on there. You feel me? For sure, man. For sure. But how we feeling about training camp, man? On the way, you know, football, Vikings football in particular is only a couple weeks away, man. That's what this was about, man. We starting to get into the nitty-gritty, man. So how we feeling? How we feeling with Travis, man? We feeling good, man. What's the vibes like, man? What are you excited to see?
I'm excited to see how many first team reps our boy JJ gets. I know they're going to ease him in. It ain't going to be right off the bat, but they're going to kind of sprinkle in some first team reps with him. I'm excited to see Dallas Turner getting some first team reps. I'm excited about our defense as a whole to see how they're meshing and gelling and just getting everybody on the same page. Just seeing everybody in the building, man. Everybody, and I know that starting off they're not going to be in full contact pads, but man, when they put them pads on, man, it's going to be really exciting then. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be exciting, man. Shout out my skull, bro, man, with the $49.99, man. Let's go, man. Shout out my guy, man, for sure. Shout out Six in the building. We got Six in the building. Shout out Norris in the building, man. Let me just go through the shout outs, man. Shout out the peoples, man. Shout out Bob, Mr. I Wanna Mock, man. Selling my McCarthy, man. Shout out to you, man. Cringe, man. Shout out to T Bass was in the building earlier, man. Shout out T Bass in the building. I see you, man. Appreciate you tapping in. We got Luft in the building, man. Shout out Jeremy in the building. I see y'all, man. Shout out to all y'all, man, for sure. Let's see. I think T Bass commented like 100 times before the show started. Hey, for sure, man. But hey, man, we appreciate everybody. I'm gonna tell you what I did today. I watched 2 episodes. I don't know. Did you watch the Receiver series yet?
Yeah, I'm on. I just finished episode 2 last night, so I'm gonna pick back up tonight.
Yeah. I need to pick back up and finish. But I watched 2 episodes too. And I'm gonna tell you, man, one thing that I seen in the receiver thing was the Eagles game, how Kevin O'Connell really got hype on the team, man. Like, to me, that stood out to me for sure in episode 2. Just because, like, I always look at him as like a nice guy, kind of like, even if things are going rough, it was more of the just kind of talk it through. Everybody's grown in the room. I'm not going to try to be your dad or your seniority. I'm the head coach, but we all on the same damn near age. You feel me? So, hey, when I heard that, I was like, okay, KOC. Like, for sure. I see you like getting violent in there a little bit, man, telling them what it is. So that was actually a good thing, man. I felt good about that, knowing that our coach does have a backbone somewhat, man.
Yeah. I tweeted that last night, and someone actually replied back to that tweet. Skolja801. Shout out Skolja801 on Twitter, but he said it was good to see that KOC just having that rah-rah shit when they win. Like, he's all about business. And I tweeted that last night. I was like, it was so good to see how he got into their ass, because you don't see that. You only see when they win. We don't see when they lose. And me personally, I would like to see win or loss. I want to see what his message is to the guys in the locker room, because at the end of the day, they grown men. They make him more, we know Justin Jefferson's making more money than Kevin O'Connell, more than likely. I mean, these guys are getting paid. They're making millions of dollars, and they're grown men. And for you to stand up in the center of the room after a loss and to dig into their ass like that, no matter who they are, no matter what superstars you have, and hold everyone in that room accountable. It takes a lot, man. It takes a lot for someone to do that, and it takes a coach with a backbone. And him being a young guy, I always wondered kind of how he dealt with losses, but it's good to see that he digs into their ass no matter what. And I liked how he was, he was positive, right? He was positive at the beginning. He's like, hey, we've only lost by 9 points combined in these first 2 games. And then he hits them with, but we fumbled the ball 8 times now. We turned the ball over 8 times. And then he goes, but we got the leadership in the room to fix it. So it's positive, negative, and he ends it with positive. And he's just a good leader, and it just proved everything that I've already knew anyway about his leadership. So it was good to see.
Right, man. Good take on that for sure, man, because that makes sense. Yeah, like and that's the same way. I think me and you, we touched on this on our last show that we did together, where me and you both were KOC guys. Like, we had, obviously there were fans in our community that, kind of didn't really enjoy him as much last season as they did the rookie season. But again, man, I always had faith in Kevin O'Connell, man. I always felt like Kevin O'Connell was that guy. And I felt like we made the right move still to this day. Like, I know people are like, well, we should have got, Harbaugh. But to me, I still feel to this day, like, honest, I feel like we got the right guy for this team, man. Facts. And you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a good thing, man. Hey, that was my favorite part so far. And I'm, like I said, I'm 2 episodes in, but that was my favorite part because that let me know, that my coach isn't a PUSSY for real. You know what I'm saying? Because you need that. You feel me? Like, we don't want him to go all out Zimmer though. Like, we don't want him to be all out Zimmer with the fear base. But you have to sometimes drop your nuts, man. For sure. You're the head coach. You get paid millions of dollars to do so. So, when things are rough like that, and that was, we remember that game on what was that, a Sunday night game or a Monday night game? I think it was a Sunday night game.
Thursday night game
against the Eagles. And bruh, as a fan watching that game was painful, man. Another thing too, I'll point this out because it made me feel bad. Like, we're so hard on players, right? Like, and when Justin Jefferson makes a mistake like that, to be honest with you, I brushed it under the rug because I'm like, I know he's gonna bounce back. Like, you can't really be mad at JJ for too long because he just does so much. Like, if it was another player that did that, you would be like, yo, cut him. I mean, like Brandon Powell or something, you'd be like, cut him, right?
Madison all year long.
Madison, you know what I mean? But like, to see how JJ really took that to heart and was talking to himself, and I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. NFL did a great job with putting these little series together, man. I gotta keep it 100, man.
I love it.
Legit, man.
It's really good. Man. I mean, quarterback was really good last year too, and just to see, I was skeptical of how this series is going to be, but it's so far it's been really good, and it's good to learn some things about other receivers around the league, and I mean, they're all family men too for the most part. It's good to see how they're all good dads and husbands and all that. So you get to learn a few things about some guys that you normally don't really keep up with. So it's a pretty good series.
Facts, man. Facts. Yeah. Great series. So let's get on and talk about, because I read an article. I think it wasn't an article. I'm sorry. That wasn't the article. It was just a video of somebody saying that they wouldn't be surprised. And I got to go back on Twitter and see who it actually came from, but it was one of these big 3-letter networks, and somebody was featured on there saying they wouldn't be surprised if JJ McCarthy just starts week 1, because they're saying that, yes, as fans and as the community, we're being told that JJ McCarthy has to check off this box and that box. But the truth of the matter is they're going to put the best player out there, and KOC might seem anxious. He might feel anxious to put his draft pick out there. I mean, because at the end of the day, I feel like Kevin O'Connell takes pride in, hey, I want to be able to find my quarterback, right? And I think about it like this. Say you start Sam Darnold, and let's just say the season starts to go to shit, right? Like, bruh, he might be out of a job. Like, he might be on the hot seat. So he might not even be there to develop JJ McCarthy. That's reality too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's reality too. So, I mean, like, I know me and you touched on this months ago when we had our first show, but now that we've been able to have mini camp and all that good stuff with JJ, like, what's your vibes when it comes to JJ and Sam Darnold? Like, are you still on the play the best guy or start Darnold, sit JJ? What do you think about?
It's 50-50 for me. Yeah, you start the best guy. You start the guys gonna win you some football games for sure. But then at the same time, and I mean this is something that Kevin O'Connell and the organization are gonna have to rack their brains about throughout camp and preseason as well. But do you go with the safe bet? You go with Darnold. You put Darnold through that ringer of a schedule. I mean, it's a war zone those first 6-7 games, right? Do you put him through the ringer? Do you put him through and just kind of throw him to the wolves and see what happens? Or do you go with, hey, we drafted McCarthy for a reason. We knew we can build a team around him. The team is pretty much built. We got one of the best explosive offenses in the league, probably second to San Francisco. And I would even debate we might be just a little bit ahead of San Francisco just because of the age of our offense. But we have an explosive offense. Everything's built and ready to go, right? And me, I've always said from day one, McCarthy was the most NFL-ready quarterback prospect, right? Do you go ahead and put him in there? Like you commented just now, does O'Connell want to go ahead and get him developed? Does he want to avoid the hot seat talk? Because if you put McCarthy in, okay, and he's 50-50, like let's say we're above 500 or just below 500 coming out that 6-7 game stretch in the beginning of the season, you're looking pretty good, right? Okay, you look like a genius. This kid's fresh, this kid's young, he's a rookie, and they're sitting okay within the season, right? Or you put them in there and they lose 5 out of those 7, or it's like, okay, either way, he still looks okay because it's a rookie quarterback. He's got time to develop. But then, like you said, you put Darnold in, and it's just a complete shit show. Then you're forced to kind of put the rookie in, or then you're maybe okay. Well, I don't want to put the rookie in yet. Let's go back to Nick Mullins, and we've already know we're gonna get out of Nick Mullins. He's gonna get 500 yards, 6 picks. You're gonna lose by 4. Yeah. So, I mean, these are things that Kevin O'Connell is going to have to rack his brain about, and I'm happy I'm not in his situation. Right. I'm sure he's being paid well to do it, but it's just these are things that like you said, it's you got everything around you. You just need the quarterback to play well. I'm 50-50 on it, man. Again, the way the schedule starts off, I hate to see. I know, like I said, I've said it, I'm blue in the face, and McCarthy's ready, but I almost be worried to throw him out there. Almost be worried. I would rather just say, let's start Donald, start the veteran. I feel like he's earned that right to, hey, maybe I can play quarterback. Let's see what I can do with the actual team around me, because we know where he's played at before. Right. So I say, hey, let's start the veteran at first, but it could go either way, man.
Yeah, it could, man. I'm gonna tell you, like, I just have this feeling that, and I again, like you heard me say this before, like I go off evidence, and I know, like we'll say, and everybody in the chat's heard me say this a million times about, okay, well now we got a team around this guy. We did the same thing with Josh Dobbs and all that good stuff too, and I just feel like there's just certain guys that just aren't gonna be that good, bro. Like they just are who they are. Like that's a fact. Like I don't care if you put Jerry Rice, Randy Moss on a team. They just don't process the game like they should process the game. Not to say that they're not better than me and you. I mean, they in the NFL. They're still a top % good football player, but as the standard, you know what I mean? Like you can just do better, right? And I don't know, man. Part of me feels like JJ McCarthy is going to win over Kevin O'Connell in the next couple of weeks, once training camp starts, once the pad comes on, and the night practices. I think we're going to see so much stuff to where the fans even are going to just be calling for it, bro. Because the Vikings media team too, they gonna hype it up, bro. Like they gonna hype it up. They be starting. They start the BS, to be honest with you, bro. Like,
Oh yeah.
And they be starting the nonsense, man, for sure. Putting out clips of just JJ balling out and stuff. Like it's like, all right, now you want us to make a video talk about how we ready now. You know what I mean?
As soon as Donald throws that one pick,
I'm telling
right,
you,
and McCarthy looks good, and like the first team reps he gets, compared to Donald. Everybody's gonna be calling for McCarthy to start, and then it's hey, look, it could go like this too. The Donald looks pretty good, looks pretty solid with a t-shirt and shorts on in camp, and then McCarthy's throwing 3 picks, and they're like, nah, sit the kids, start the veteran. I mean, it's all going to depend on the little bit of clips and a little bit of access we get, in social media and everything, or what everyone's going to want to call for, but. It could go either way, man. It really could.
And we have to lean on the people, like Purple Day, like Judd and stuff that are going to be at those night practices, and they're going to actually be able to see and tell us give us really honest opinions about what they actually saw out there. Because Judd was good at that. That's why I rock with Judd, man, because he does that. Like he actually tells the truth, man. He goes to those practices, goes to training camp, and he comes back and says, look, your boy's struggling. All right. I mean, he looks like a rookie, right? Like, and that's what you want to hear. I mean, you want to hear the truth, because a fan like me and you will kind of exaggerate a little bit, honestly, because of what we want. You know what I mean? Not so much I know, at least me, I won't put you in the category with me, but I know me, like, it's more about what I want, and I want to win. And if I feel like McCarthy gives us the better chance, I'm going all in on that. You feel me? Like, I'm saying, like, look, he might have threw an interception. He's still better. Play him, you know what I mean? So that's just how it goes. But I am okay with being patient, though, and I know we talked about this, and I'm okay with Sam Darnold starting, because honestly, my expectations aren't high with Sam Darnold. I feel like if Sam Darnold starts, I know there's gonna come a Sunday, and it's gonna be really quick too. I'm gonna tell you right now, where we're gonna be having a conversation of, it's time. Like, facts, bro. It's time. We gonna be sick of this motherfucker, dog. Like, I already know it's coming, dog. Like, I ain't even tripping. I already know it's coming.
Yeah.
For sure. It's coming, bro. Like, for real. And another thing too, Travis, is this. We kind of low key, like, were you a Kirk fan? Like, were you a big Kirk fan, or you were like in the middle, right? Like, you liked them, but you weren't.
Oh no, I love Kirk, man. I was a Kirk dude, but then you know.
Yeah. So I say that to say this is reality is we were kind of spoiled as far as having a competent quarterback for these years too. So you know what I mean? Last year was our first taste of having to really play quarterback carousel and go through all the BS and stuff like that. So to go through it, if we have to go through it again this year, it's going to be painful for us fans, man. But I still think our defense, speaking of our defense, I think our defense is going to take a step forward from last year. So it's going to be an exciting season regardless, man. You know what I mean? We just got to have faith and see what happens, man. But who you got on defense, Chad, man? Who going to stand out, man? I want to hear who you think going to be that guy.
Man, I think Blake Cashman's going to show up. I really do. I think he's really excited. He's a Minnesota kid anyway. So he talked about when he signed his free agency deal with us to come here, he talked about how the next day he woke up and he was like, man, I'm a Minnesota Viking now. So to me, that means he's really excited to play. He's really excited to have that purple on. I think, he's going to have a good season. I think he's definitely going to show out at camp and prove to, why everyone that, why they signed him in the first place. And I think, man, we forget about him sometimes, man, because we have so many new additions to the defense, right? And we forget about him sometimes, but Ivan Pace is still back there.
Let's go.
I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder, obviously, because he went undrafted. He's still pissed about that.
He told him
he's got a little chip on his shoulder because, hey, look, y'all bringing in all these features and all these additions, and I know he loves it.
Yeah.
But hey, don't forget about Zero. Don't forget about me. I'm still back here, so I think he's gonna have a lot to prove as well.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he told them. Like, he told the entire league, like, y'all done effed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for sure. And I'm telling you, man, he's going to be a staple in our defense for years to come. You know what I mean? I really do feel like that. I feel like he's going to be like the Eric Kendricks. Like, we're going to hold on. And to be real, though, he's actually exploded onto the scene a little sooner than Kendricks did. And I think he'll be around a little longer than Kendricks, to be honest with you. Like, I could see Pace being a Viking and a staple on the Vikings defense, kind of like how a Harrison Smith, to be honest. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I could see him literally being a Viking for the longevity, man. As long as no, serious injuries happen, nothing tragic happens, bro. I could just see him because he just has that dog in him, dog. Like, he told us the truth, bro. He said, hey, bro, I got that dog in me. Like, and he telling the truth, man. Like for real,
Oh,
you
yeah.
got to believe the guy. I'm telling you, he letting us know what it is, man.
Yeah.
Shout out King Kong in the building. Shout out No Stop in the building, man. Shout out Dayon, man. FJB, let's go, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in tonight with us, man. For sure. Let's go, man. Appreciate y'all for sure, man. We just talking some Vikings football because it's getting close, man, and I'm getting excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real with you. We really only got. So I looked it up. I think we start on the 20. It starts on a Saturday, I think, like the 27th. I believe it starts on the 27th, right?
I just saw it the other day, but I couldn't tell you for some reason now.
Yeah, it's the 27th, I believe. Drop it in the chat if somebody knows exactly when training camp starts. I believe it's the 27th from what I remember. I think I looked at it this morning. But you know, the 27th, man, just think. Next week, like we go live on Friday. The next time we go live, damn that, bruh, it's gonna be trained. Like it's time to go out there and get it popping. Like fact. That's how close we are. And then that's gonna roll right into preseason. Why I'm excited about preseason this year? Well, the obvious. We're going to be able to see JJ McCarthy. I mean, do you think? I think JJ McCarthy is going to get a big dose of playing time in the preseason. How you feel about that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we'll see a little bit of Darnold at first. I'm sure.
You think we'll see Darnold in the preseason too, or you think they're going to try to treat him like a veteran? Just, you know.
I think for Darnold is if you know there is that possibility he's going to start. So I would say for him, he needs to take as many reps as he can. Right. You know, he is still a new dude here for us. So yeah, I would say he would probably get a little bit of preseason rep. I think we're going to see McCarthy a lot. We'll see Mullins and I would assume Jaren Hall down the stretch. Once those last two really not important games for the starters or for the guys that are going to make the team, but the ones that are not going to make the team, we'll see Mullins and Hall down the stretch. But yeah, I think McCarthy's going to get a huge dose of preseason football, which he should. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited about seeing him. I'm hoping because you're not seeing a whole lot about my guy Nick Muse, man, but preseason legend Nick Muse, right? Okay. I mean, because obviously TJ Hawkinson's not going to be around for the first 7-8 weeks, so need all the tight end reps we can get. I know we got a big tight end room, but Nick Muse, man, he's so fun to watch in preseason. So I'm looking forward to him. Looking forward to a lot of guys, earning their roster spot, really. So, but yeah, man,
I just can't get that picture out my head of Muse, man, at Carolina, man. I mean, I know it was like a joke, but I just can't get the picture out my head, man.
That dude is hilarious, man. And I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but that dude, I could hang out with him. For real. Yeah. Like he's
I became a huge fan. Speaking of, as we were speaking on the receiver thing as well, man, I became a huge fan of George Kittle too, man. Like personality wise and shit, man. Like he'd be a cool ass friend to have. You feel me? Like just a good, you seem like a good dude having fun. Like he's the definition of like just have fun with your job, man. Like go out there and just enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because nothing lasts forever. So just kind of live in the moment, man, and he definitely does that. So shout out George Kittle, man, for sure. Even though we gonna spank him on Skull Fest weekend, man. So that's one thing I want to drop, man. We locked in Skull Fest Event Center, man. We gonna be doing Skull Fest at Corner Bar in Minneapolis, man, downtown. Most people that live in the city know exactly what I'm talking about. So we definitely got it popping. The flyer will be dropping tomorrow. It's already done. The flyer is done, but we're just waiting on a QR code to add to it. So yeah, man. Hey, Skull Fest 2024 is going to be lit, man. It's a lock, man. Corner Bar. Anybody who's been to Corner Bar knows, man. It's one of the most turnt Vikings bars downtown, bro. It's blocks away from the stadium. You go there before game day. On game day, that's usually where most people meet up to pregame at. So it's just one of those deals, man. It's gonna be a movie, man. Like Cam Beasy say, man, it's gonna be a movie. You feel me? So shout out to everybody who's able to make it, man. But we'll have more information dropping tomorrow. So yeah, if you in the city, just make sure you pull up and support us. We're doing ticket giveaways this year again. We're gonna do live podcasts. We got DJs, all that, man. So yeah, man. I just want to throw that out there. Shout out Luff, man. He said the Rooks report on the 21st, the Vets 23rd, and then the public is 27th. So I guess 27th is when like people like me and you could go to training camp if we wanted to. So that's even closer than I thought. Damn, the 21st. That's
a
what
Sunday.
is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So that's next Sunday. That's next Sunday. You feel me?
Yeah.
For sure. Hey, Skull Mafia, you could post about it. Just don't post that flyer that I sent you earlier. You know, Skull Mafia, that's my Skull bro. So he be getting like shit before most people get it and stuff like that. But that flyer, that was the rough cop. It's pretty much done, but we got to add a little couple things to it, Skull bro. But you can let people know though, like, hey, corner bar it is. You know what I'm saying? September 14th. Let's go. Facts. But man, I want to talk to you about Travis, about what you said about Cashman though, man. That's so you think Cashman's gonna be the guy, right? Like he's gonna be the dude that steps out and just takes the Vikings fan base by storm.
Yeah, because like I said earlier, man, he seems really excited to, and all of them are excited, right? I mean, they're getting paid to play, so all of them excited to play. But he just seems real genuine, real down to earth dude. Is just really, really humble and really excited about being in purple. So that's just someone to me that's just going to stand out. And again, like I mentioned before, it's just a huge linebacker and edge room, right? I mean, and I feel like Flores is probably going to be like, it's just going to be a carousel of guys just hitting the field. You know, I kind of feel like our defense is going to be just moving pieces all around because, you know, Flores is just going to throw all sorts of things at the offense, you know, each week anyway. So that's the guy that's going to, he's going to want to show Flores and the rest of the team, like, look, rotate all you want, but I'm somebody you're going to want to keep out there a long-term basis on the field. So I feel like he's going to stand out. I feel like he's got a lot to prove. You know, and he's coming off a really good season last year, but before he had a good season last year, he didn't get much playing time. He dealt with injuries and stuff too. So he's still, even though he had a good season and got him a good contract with us, he's still trying to prove to the rest of the league. Anyways, even before he got here, he's still trying to prove to the rest of the league, man, I belong. So that's somebody that I think is going to turn it up a notch. Again, Ivan Pace, because, you know, not a lot of people talking about Ivan Pace right now. Right. You know, he's like, man, look at the season I had last year, you know, and you know, someone else too that for some reason gets slept on, right? But Metellus, man, you know, I mean, he was on Twitter yesterday. I mean, he's just getting no respect, and you know, I tweeted back at him. I was like, I like when our guys and our team get slept on by the media because it just makes them hungry. You know, right. And so I'm used to it. I mean, if you're a Vikings fan, you're used to it anyway, right? Because you know, and we talked about this last time. Like, I feel, and you said the same thing, that we are a big market team, but according to the media, we're not. You know, we're not Dallas, and we're not, you know, Kansas City now. You know, we're none of those. But like, I love when we get slept on. It just makes me more hungry as a fan. It makes the players hungrier. So keep on sleeping on Minnesota, because we're gonna show something to you.
Yeah, and to second off of what you said about just how the linebacker and the edge rushing room is for the Vikings, man. Surprisingly, man, it's stacked, bro. Like when you look at it, not this is on paper, but even if you look off paper and you go and look at what these players did at their other teams before they got to the Vikings, like you said, like Cashman, like Grenard, you know, and then you can look at what Ivan Pace did and Metellus did last season, like. Bro, like we're stacked, man. Like when it comes to the defensive side, I feel like I feel like our defense is at the best position it's been when you think about talent. You know what I mean? That it's been a long time, probably since we'll say the 2019 season when they were, or 2017 season when we were number one defense in the NFL, obviously. But I mean, again, I'm not gonna say we're gonna be number one. But I will say I can see a top 10. I can definitely see like a 12 to number 8 type of season for the Minnesota Vikings if everything stays together. The no crazy injuries happen and stuff like that. Man, I can really see us applying pressure, man, especially with Brian Flores finally getting his feet wet. He in there. This is his second year. I mean, everything's gonna just start running smoother. He knows what he wants now. He has a vision, you know, and that's always a good thing, man. So I gotta agree with you, man. I'm ready to see Cashman, though, man. You know, I gotta admit, Travis, I'm sleeping on your boy too. All right, and it's not that I don't like him or don't believe in him. I just didn't really pay him attention. Like I knew it was a good pickup. I heard of his name on the Texans.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew, like, okay, because I love the Texans, man. I respect the Texans, man. The Texans, just the way they've built their team over the past couple years, just keep throwing spaghetti at the wall until something sticks, and they finally got something. Like, you got to respect it with the type of franchise they are, and they had to in a big city and had to like figure things out. And now they're being competitive because they're making all the right moves. And you know, he was. So I say that to say Cashman coming and Grenard coming from an organization that was hungry, and they kind of have that fire. Now they're coming to us. Shit, it's gonna be a good addition, man. I'm excited
Yeah, it
to see
is.
that. For
Yep.
sure. Absolutely, man. How we feeling? Like, how you feeling about the you know, the special teams? Because and we just gonna touch on this real quick because you know, when the draft came out, because did we talk? We did our show before the draft, right? Was it before
Yeah.
the draft? Yeah.
It was
No, because we talked about McCarthy and stuff. I feel like it was after the draft a little bit.
I think it was this. I think it was the weekend. Yeah. Because it was round two. Round two was on when we were
Yeah.
talking. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because we were already lit. We were happy. Me and Travis were smiling from ear to ear that whole show, bro. Like we already pretty much felt like we won. We didn't even give a damn who was getting drafted. It was like the draft over with, bro. Like
we didn't give a
dog.
shit. We were done. Yeah. Like I ain't want to be paying attention to round two. We won it anyway. We didn't have a pick anyway, so I wasn't even worried about it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, man. So yeah. So we did talk after, pretty much after the draft was completed, but we did add a couple other guys the day after me and you did talk. And first, you know, we want to just say RIP to Kyrie Jackson, man. You know, just prayers to his family and everything, man. That was a tragic situation. We don't got to sit here and just and beat on it, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's something that we never wish we have to do, like make videos talking about things like that. And as Vikings fans, this isn't our first rodeo, man, like, which is crazy and sad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know there was other players back in the day. Purple Pop, I was talking to him the other day, and he was telling me about I guess there was a wide receiver that something tragic happened to for the Vikings. I can't remember the name. I know the OGs in the building know. But I guess one of the wide receivers passed that the Vikings drafted, and then we had, from what I know, is Jeff Gladney with the same exact type of situation. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. They both were cornerbacks. Like that's
it's
wild,
really
man.
weird. Within the last 5 seasons, man, 2 corners.
Yeah,
and
that's weird.
You know,
it's weird, man. Like the chances of that are just like, wow, bro. Like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like,
and then you think about Corey Stringer back in the day, right? You know, him passing away at practice.
I think so that's who Papa was telling me about, Corey Stringer. He was a wide receiver, right?
I believe he was a defensive lineman, if I remember correctly.
Defensive lineman. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And or offensive line. He was a lineman. For some reason I'm drawing blank. But I mean I was really young when that happened. But I think that was a heat exhaustion type thing. And and then was it Sperano? Who was the offensive line coach that we hired back when Kirk's first season?
Because he wound up passing.
He had a heart attack right before camp.
Yeah. Damn, what was his name? Dave used to always bring him up, and because
Tony Sperano, right?
Yeah, that was it. And Dave, and RIP to Tony, you know what I mean? His prayers to his family and stuff too, man. That's crazy. But Dave used to always like throw that out there about Kirk. Like if Kirk had a bad, because his season wasn't as good, he's like, well, remember the O-line coach passed. Like when you got one of them players you love and you just gonna look for everything. Like, you feel me? You're gonna be like, man, it was because of this, that, and the third. You feel
They're not
me?
blocking because the offensive line coach died, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember all that.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, it is what it is, man. RIP to us, man. We just been going through it, man. We've been going through it with a lot of that, man. And it's sad, but again, just the rookies knowing that he's not going to be part of the team. He'll be there in spirit. Speaking of Kyrie Jackson, because I had high hopes for bro too, man. You know what I mean? Like, I had high hopes for bro. I thought bro was gonna actually
Man.
be decent. Like, after we drafted him, I got a video where I went back and watched, and I'm like, just his personality too. You know,
Yeah.
just seemed like a good young man. Like, for real, man. One employee of the month, and just did a bunch of great things, man. It seemed like he was a community guy. He would have been big for the city. I just feel like he would have been that guy that would have been around the city just helping out and stuff, man. So
Yeah.
it is, man. It's unfortunate, man. And not only
Something.
him, man. Two other young men went with them that were also
Yeah.
football players. So I don't want to leave them out.
It's something I want to touch on real quick about Kyrie, and
Yeah.
we can move on. But
Yeah.
one thing that stood out to me about him was that, you know, he when he graduated high school, he left football. He didn't think he was going to make it. He didn't think it was for him. Kind of went down a little bit of a dark path in his life. Got a job at a Harris Teeter at 18, 19 years old, and like you said, he got employed a month. I don't know any 18, 19-year-old kid that had the chance to play college football going down a dark path in their life is going to get employed a month at any job, right? And you know, he chose to take what he had and just make the best out of whatever situation he was in. And that to me just stood out to me, is that I knew he was going to be a leader. I knew he was going to step up and be a starter. I told him on Twitter, it was like day one starter. And I just think about, like, you know, just recent days, him tweeting, you know, how the number 31 was kind of growing on him because he didn't really like the number at first. And it's just a sad deal. And, you know, he was someone, you know, I've been on many other shows, and you know, people would ask me, you know, who is someone you're looking forward to other than McCarthy or Turner, and it was him.
Yeah.
You know, mainly just because our corner room didn't have as much depth, but he was 6'4", he was physical, and he wasn't scared to get his hands dirty, and that was just I was really excited for him. And
Yeah.
you know, and it's just tragic, like you mentioned. You know, two other guys were gone too. You know, two of his friends he won a high school state championship with. They're
Mhm.
also good enough to play at the college level. They both played at Penn State and I believe Florida State at a time
Yep.
too.
That's
So
correct.
all three very talented in their own respects. Very, very young, very tragic deal, man. And
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing a picture of the crash scene. I think that someone had found a Vikings hat at the scene, and they
Yeah.
picked it up and set it somewhere. They've kind of created like a little memorial site for him there. And it's just really
Mhm.
sad. Like, you just tell how excited he was to be a Viking, because he still had the draft hat that
Yeah.
they gave him, and he's, you
Yeah.
know, and it's a sad deal, man. And I don't want to, you
Mhm.
know, harp on it too much. You know, we all know
Right.
how sad it is, but yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. R.I.P. Kyrie, man. Hey, Viking for life, though, man. That's a fact, man. You know,
Yeah, they can't take that from him, man. He's a
they can't
Viking
take
for
that
life for
from him,
sure.
man. And
Yeah.
I hope, like, maybe not this season. Hopefully, they do something with the number 31. Especially being that you got that inside info saying that 31's growing on him on Twitter and stuff. I think that's what I need to do, man. I need to follow more players. I don't follow a ton of the Vikings. I don't know why. I'm tripping, but I need to, because I'm
Yeah.
tripping, Brad. Like, I don't know if I follow any of the players like that. To be honest with you, I need to. I follow just more Vikings content creators and stuff, and just fans. But I need to start tapping with the players. But yeah, I hope they do something with the 31. I know they will. You know what I mean? I know they will, man. I know the Vikings are definitely going to represent him throughout the season. We'll see that for sure. Because we just have a stand-up organization, man. You know what I mean?
Oh
I
yeah.
don't have a doubt in my mind, bro. You
Absolutely.
know, so man, that'll be good, man. But you know, speaking of the cornerbacks, though, you know, with him being there in spirit, and then on top of what we have, um, you know, like that, it's again, hit that pick though in particular was like just Brian Flores was written all over that. And I go back
Yeah.
to like Joe Jawan Williams, right? When we got him, and that was a Brian Flores thing when he got it here. He went after him. He likes the tall, lanky guy. Like, that's just what he likes, bro. Like, that's what Brian Flores wants, man. He rather have his philosophy is just taller, more physical guys that can play at the line of scrimmage, but can also be competent at playing one-on-one or doing zone coverage. But he likes physical, tall, lanky guys where the extremities can bat balls down and stuff like that. I guess he just feels like, hey, the bigger, the wider the arm spread, the more you can smother a wide receiver. And you know, and Kyrie fit that. He fit that prototype, man. That's exactly what he's doing. And I don't know how moving forward from this situation, how it plays out. Like, you know, I obviously don't want to keep talking about this situation, but like, I don't know how it plays out when you do lose a player to tragedy, like how the NFL works as far as, because obviously like the Vikings are out a draft pick now that they obviously they lost the player to tragedy. So it's like, I don't know how that works, man, like how they usually do that. But whatever it is, man, whoever comes in, they need to represent K-Jack, man. That's a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like represent K-Jack the right way. You feel me? For sure. But
absolutely.
yeah, man. I got high hopes on the defense though as a whole. I
Yeah.
think the defense is gonna be lit, man. Offensive wise, let's get on offense again. Let's talk about this O-line real quick. Um I mean, like because the running game, right? Like, matter of fact, let's do this first. Let's talk about the running backs because I did a video and I think some people might have took it, you know, the wrong way when I talked about Cam Akers. How you feel about Cam Akers, man?
I think he's a good addition to a already pretty good running back room, and you can take all the depth you need. You know, a guy like Kenyon Nwangwu, I don't think he's going to step up at any point in time and contribute to the running back room. Unfortunately, I think he's a good returner. You know, I mean, but he's someone that, you know, is he going to make the team? I think with the new kickoff rules, I think he may be safe, but I think Cam Akers is a great addition. Obviously, before he went down, unfortunately, to an Achilles injury as well last season, he kind of was a bright spot in the run game that Madison was lacking, you know, terribly. So, you know, no rushing touchdowns for him. We didn't get a rushing touchdown by running back until Ty Chandler started getting more reps. But I think I always think about it. The same with Aaron Jones. I always think about it. Always to me, it always comes back to Ty Chandler because I'm really high on Ty Chandler. And I honestly, and I may be wrong, and we'll find out the next couple of seasons. But I feel like Ty Chandler is the future of the running back room right now. I feel like we have a gem. I feel like we have a diamond in the rough with him. And every addition to the running back room, I think about him. Cam Akers has been in the league for a while. He's 20. He's still young. A lot of people forget that he's only 25 years old. So he's still young. I think any veteran presence, anyone that can contribute in any way for Ty Chandler, I always think about that. So obviously Aaron Jones being there, but yeah, Cam Akers to me, I feel like he didn't get to finish things on his terms last season with the injury. I'm glad we brought him back, hoping it works out, hoping he makes the team. One thing about, you know, the number 31, he was 31 last year. So I would assume they would probably leave that untouched for Kyrie this season. So we may see him in a different number jersey, Cam Akers, that is. But yeah, man, I mean, a lot of people forget, man, this dude was a beast, and he's gone through two Achilles injuries now, and most players retire after just one. So especially at his position, you know, you know, being a running back. So man, he deserves a shot. And I'm excited for it.
Okay, so me and you definitely on different sides of the spectrum on this one.
Okay,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
all right, that's fine.
I wanted you to get your land your plane. You feel me? Land your plane. You feel me? Now look, I put it like this, man. This is where I have an issue, right? And maybe I'm over exaggerating, and I could be. You feel me? And that's okay. But I look at it like this. To me, I just have this weird feeling of, hey, we have a relationship in LA, and I just want to see my boy employed. Because at the end of the day, if you got a running back that, first of all, had 2 Achilles injuries, look, I didn't even want Kirk Cousins back with 1 Achilles, and he a quarterback. And I'm thinking about a running back with 2 Achilles injuries, man. I'm like, yo, like, is he really gonna be? Now I know finance wise, like it's not that big of a deal because you're getting him. We pretty much got him for free almost damn near last season. Like there wasn't no skin off our back, right? And I'm sure if we re-sign him, it's going to be for something minimal too. It's not, he can't expect to be breaking the bank here. But again, I also look at the roster spot and how that is valuable. I feel like there is another option out there to bring in a running back other than Cam Akers coming off of 2 Achilles injuries. Now, I don't want to see him not be employed. You know, I mean, I ain't wishing that on him. You know what I mean? Like, hey, somebody might can use you. All I'm saying is we gave you the shot. Hey, things happen, injuries happen in this sport. It happened, and I think it's time to move on, in my opinion. Now, if we bring him back, I'm rooting for him. I'm rocking with him. I have nothing against Cam Akers personally. I just don't think that he's gonna be as good, or I don't even think that he's gonna have an opportunity to start unless an injury goes down. But then even if Ty Chandler gets hurt or Aaron Jones gets hurt and he has to step in, I'm not confident enough to say, well, damn, can he be the workhorse? Are we going to be able to turn around and hand Cam Akers the ball? Because every time he gets tackled, I'm going to be worried about him getting back up. I'm gonna be like, damn, I hope they don't bust that Achilles again. No, because running back, man, that, I mean, come on. Quarterback is one thing. And we were hard on Kirk. Like, man, it's an Achilles injury. He ain't gonna be able to drop back. He's 36 years old. But I think about running back, man. You're moving the most with those legs, man. You know what I mean? Like going through the tackles and stuff. So I don't know, man. It just, to me, it doesn't make sense. You feel me? But I'll agree with you as far as if it happens. He is a beast. I do give him that. He had a good season in LA where he looked like he was going to be a A-tier type running back, and then the unfortunate happened. But if the unfortunate keeps happening, then I think you have to consider that too, though. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I just think you got to consider that. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. But
hey, I tell you what. How about this? How about a counter offer? Instead of Cam Akers, what do you think about Dalvin Cook coming back on?
Hey, exactly. Like that would, to me, like, yes, let's get it, man. Let's get it. That sounds more like it. You feel me?
You imagine Aaron Jones and Dalvin Cook on the same team?
Let's go, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that sounds more like it, right? Like, I would definitely go for that any day. You feel me? Like, for sure. And Dalvin Cook had his injuries, but again, he was a Viking, so there's a little different type of love there. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Cam Akers was borrowed, and he came along because of Wes Phillips and because of Kevin O'Connell, and that's why I say part of this feels just kind of like that, like nepotism in a way, even though they just have a relationship, like business relationship. Like, it's like, oh, Cam Akers was my boy in LA, man. We got a good bond outside of football too. Like, it's deeper than football. So yeah. Let's try to keep him on the team. And it's like, bro, you're talking about a running back that has 2 Achilles injuries, bro. Like that, who's investing in that? I don't give a damn how much it is. Like, why does that seem like a good investment? Why? Is he that good? Like, does he move the needle that much? I just don't think so. Especially when you went out and got Aaron Jones. So man, everybody talking about you and Boom Boom, man. Everybody Boom, but you and Boom Boom beefing on X, man. What's going on, man? They talking about
we're not beefing, but somebody told me to block them.
Oh, okay.
So I took someone early on when I got into to create doing like the YouTube stuff. Someone told me like, hey, block them. So I did because they just felt like it was gonna be an issue, but I blocked them a long time ago. I completely forgot about them. But I mean, if he ain't gonna start nothing with me, I'll unblock him. But someone told me that
we'll free Boom Boom, man. We get Travis to free Boom Boom, man. Nah, Boom Boom, cool as hell, man.
Look, I tell you what, I'll do it right now. I'll do it live. I'll do it live right now. Y'all gonna ride with me.
Free Boom Boom, man. Let's go, man.
Hold on, we'll get on here.
Hey, now look, Boom Boom. Hey, look. Travis, my boy, Boom Boom now. So look, man, keep it kosher, man. He a true Vikings fan. He like me, man. That's my boy. So don't be doing no crazy. He gonna unblock you online. He done.
And I followed. How about that?
Let's go, man. Shout out Boom Boom in the house, man. Look here, Boom Boom, man. Hey, keep it G, my dog. Don't do nothing crazy. Nah, but for real, I like Boom Boom's to me, Boom Boom entertainment, man. But he supports the brand for sure. He's entertaining though, man. And sometimes he'll say he just speak his mind. He's just one of those people. He's just, call it what it is. That's just what it is, man. But again, man, shout out Boom Boom, man. In the building. I keep seeing them. I'm like, hold on, because I wasn't looking at the comment. I'm like, hold on, what the hell going on?
I ain't never had no interaction with him. I ain't never just someone was like, look, if you want to avoid any controversy, but it might have been somebody that they might have had an issue with. So I don't know. But I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah. Nah, it's all good, man. Shout out Boom Boom, man, for sure, man. Boom Boom in the house, man. But yeah, man, like the running back, conversation. Yeah, that's what and then now we can move to the offensive line. And I know we kind of touched on this when we had our last show too. But I mean, do you think keeping everything the same is just gonna be okay? Like, because you got Ed Ingram, right? If we had to say the starting line right now, it's gonna be O'Neal, it's gonna be Ingram, it's gonna be Bradbury, it's gonna be me and you might feel different on this, but I got Dalton Reisner, and then obviously Darisaw. Like that's the line.
Yeah.
You think that's good enough? What do you see the Vikings ranking when it comes to offensive line pass blocking? Because we talking about our quarterback situation too. Like that's a big key right there, man. We got to make sure it's up tight, man. How you feel about it?
I think as far as ranking, I think pass blocking, I think there's no question we should be top 10. I can see in my heart, I feel we can be top 5 easily, but I think top 10 easily for sure. Because I mean, I look back and you know, I know for years, you talk about earlier people taking up for Kirk, and for years people will say he's got no time in the pocket, man. But I'm sure you're like doing the same thing as me here in the summertime, going back watching a lot of old games from last season and previous years too. And I'm seeing Kirk with a lot of time in the pocket before he got hurt. I'm even seeing, Dobbs even had a whole lot of time in the pocket, before he decided to throw the ball to the other team, but I think pass blocking will be fine. And we got Reisner. You talk about Reisner, and he got a huge knock about his run blocking. Okay, sure. Yeah. Run blocking percentage, he wasn't as good as pass blocking. But I see a lot of film on him last year. The dude was just looking for someone to block down the field. I think about that game. What game was it?
I think you think about the Falcons. Was it the Falcons? No, he
was it the Atlantic?
Falcons.
He might not.
It might have been the Falcons. It might have been the Falcons where he like ran all the way down.
He ran all the way down there, and I think it was Brandon Powell. He was trying to shove forward. It might have been Dobbs. Yeah. He just pushed the Powell. They did some kind of karate kick thing at the end. So I have Reisner. I do have a lot of love for Brandel. I think Brandel's going to be fine, but I think once in camp, once the competition starts, I think Reisner being more of a veteran, being around a little bit longer, he's going to probably surpass Blake Brandel. But we look at the run blocking and they say it was bad, but I mean, Alexander Madison just is not a good running back either. You can't put everything on the offensive line. I mean, I'm going to take it back a few years. Remember that game against Seattle? It was maybe a Thursday night game or maybe a Sunday night game against Seattle. Zimmer was the coach. Yeah. And, we could have just kicked the field goal. We probably still would have won the game, but, Zimmer got greedy. But Cook went down with a shoulder injury in that game, and he couldn't finish the fourth quarter. And so they decided to run the ball, 4th and goal, like I said, 4th and inches with Madison. And there's a hole as big as 2 semi-trucks if he just cuts to the left. If he just cuts to the left, but he stayed to the right and ran to a complete wall. And I remember all the tweets coming out about that. It was like, man, Cook would have scored that touchdown.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so, and I think it was Phil Mackey had posted the other day he shared the tweet, but it was all the Madison runs within a goal to go situation. And he had, I think it was nine attempts. I could be wrong. I gotta go back and check. I think it was something like 9 attempts in a goal to go situation. And he was 0 for 9 with a -7 loss of yards and no touchdowns. And then, he was so slow out of his break and out of his cut. And look, I'm not a professional player. I'm not a running back, but I can still see what I see. Dude was just so lethargic, man. So we can't put all that on the offensive line, and I'm not going to, because I'm an offensive line guy. I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy, and you can argue with me if you want. No one's going to put it all on the offensive line when we had Alexander Madison, right, as our back. And, again, like I touched on earlier, we didn't score a rushing touchdown until Ty Chandler started getting more reps. So, I think our run block is going to improve no matter who is playing at guard. I think, we just talked about him. Our our right guard.
Ingram. Yeah,
Ingram. I don't know why I can't
Ingram.
think of
Yeah.
names, but Ingram has stepped it up tremendously in the past couple of seasons. That first year he played, now he was a rookie, but he got a lot of hate, and I was
Yeah.
one of them. I thought, I was like, nope, this pick ain't working. This ain't that. No, but he stepped it up tremendously in the past 2 seasons. He had a really good season last year.
Yeah.
And obviously our two cornerstones at tackle. So yeah, I think I think our offensive line is going to be fine, no matter if it's Blake Brandel at guard or Dalton Reisner. I think we'll be just fine. Now let's touch on Bradbury though. I'm not a huge Bradbury fan. Look, if you want to grade our offensive line, I think at tackle with Shaw, right, starting from left to right, it's A+, it's B- at left guard, it's C- at center, then B+, and then A, right, and then with Ingram and O'Neal. So that's kind of how I rank our offensive line. I think at center we could do better. I was hoping we would draft a good center, but I'm not really sold on Bradbury. I'm sold at guard. I'm not sold at center.
Yeah. I think with center, I think what keeps Bradbury a job is his communicate. He must be really good at like communicating and just knowing where his players are supposed to be. Like, cause you could be that type of player where you know your job like the back of your hand, you just ain't good at doing your job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Yeah.
you know what everybody else supposed to do, and that still brings value. And
Yeah.
in some cases. And I think that, and maybe Kevin O'Connell values that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're like a second quarterback out there, because that's what the center is. Like the center has to be a smart dude, man. You don't just go out there and just block the guy in front of you. Like you have to know everybody else's job on the line, man, and help that out. So I think that's what's keeping Bradbury in purple for one, and just keeping him as a starter for this long, being that his play isn't all of that. Like it's almost like you, because you look at Bradbury and you're like, yo, like you telling me we can't replace that? Like you can bring a guy from the practice squad that'll have damn near the same production as that. Like it has to be because he's smart, and you know what I mean. He just kind of knows everybody's job, and the communication skills are probably good, you know. And in run blocking, I give him a good grade in run blocking. He was known for that in college. Like he was known for as a run blocking center, bro. Like he because he's a little smaller, faster, get out of there and lay people down. So I mean, shit, man. I think that's just what's keeping him a job, man. Luff just said it too. Yeah, run blocking, man. The word on Bradbury, he calls blocking too. Yay.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. He's smart, and that's okay. He brings value. You know, you can't expect the whole line to be anchors and be, just big dudes that just ain't letting nothing leak. You know, you're always, every line in the NFL is gonna have that leaky spot somewhere.
Yeah.
Ours just happens to be center right now, and that's just what it is. But he makes up for it in his intelligence. Let's just say that. All right, so we'll rep for Bradbury again. We ain't got no choice.
I'll be honest, and I know I give him a little bit of flack. I mean, I'm going to rock with him anyway because he's wearing purple. But
right.
And I know, I mean, the man's retired now, but Jason Kelsey kind of set the bar really, really high for center, especially if you're playing the center position and you're pulling. And there's not many centers in the league. There's not many centers in college. There's not many centers in football, period, that are pulling. So, I know Kelsey kind of set the bar kind of high. I know he gets a lot of respect too, just because the tush push works so well in Philadelphia, and you have to have a good center. And you think about the Cincinnati game where we went for the tush push 2 plays in a row. If you have a center like Kelsey who can perfect that, yeah, you're probably, no matter, you could put my 5-year-old daughter back there pushing behind Nick Mullins. Brandon Powell gets so much hate, but for that play. But if we had a good center, man, that play would have worked the first time. But again, I'm gonna rock with Bradbury. I mean, he's our guy. He's our starter. He's wearing the purple. I just think we could do better, and that's just my opinion on it. But
for sure.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Now, real quick, you were talking about earlier in the show. We were talking about the tight end, your boy Nick Muse. But like, do you feel like I feel like thinking about our boy N'Keal Harry, right? Switching his position to a tight end. Like, what's the vibe? Like, what is your vibes on that? Like, as far as because to me, I'm low key excited about it, bro. For one, it's different, right? And I like it. He has the build, so it ain't like you're obviously not like you're putting some little guy there that's just gonna. He has the build. He already can catch the ball. Like I guess if you can teach him, now obviously there's a lot more that comes with tight end than just being able to catch the ball. But I feel like, man, I think we're in for something, man. Like you talking about Nick Muse, man. I'm talking about N'Keal Harry, man. How you feel about that switch, man? What do you think is gonna come out of that?
I actually forgot about him, and I'm glad you brought him up. But yeah, man, and like he's talked about the size, he ain't no small dude. He's a big body dude. So
Right.
I don't know why he wasn't playing tight end to begin with.
Right.
I had seen some clips of him last year in camp when he first came to us, and he was playing a little bit of tight end then. They hadn't really made the full move yet because I don't think Kevin O'Connell really approached him about it till in the middle of this past season. But he had actually lined up at tight end a little bit during camp last season. And I've seen some clips of him catching a touchdown pass, and I'm thinking, man, he should have been playing this position all along. So yeah, he's someone also that we talk about guys. Hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here too. That's somebody in camp that definitely needs to show off. It definitely needs to prove I deserve a roster spot, whether it's here or whether I hit the waiver wire and someone else picks me up. I deserve to be in the NFL. That's someone else right there is N'Keal Harry. So yeah, man, him and we got man.
I think we got
Tunyon, my boy. Yeah, he gonna play for every team in NFC North now. He's made the full complete circle. So that's someone right there. That's, hey, I got something to prove. That, I played with the Bears. They were shitty. I'm still good. And he balled out with Green Bay, and that wasn't long ago. That wasn't a long time ago. So it's not like it's an age factor for him. That's somebody else that I think about too. You talked about just hiring Cam Akers because he's an LA guy, and I may get a lot of hate for this in the comments. It is what it is. Man, I am so done with Johnny Mutt. Can we just forget about it? It's not going to work. He's not a superstar. The dude pisses me off every time he hits the field. Like I'm not going to, again, it goes back to, hey, you're wearing purple, I'm going to pull for you. But I think about that first time we played Detroit last year was in the whiteout game, and we hit a I'm trying to think of the play it was, but it was Jefferson, and it was a sweep, and he had a chance where he could throw the ball or keep it, and Munt just misses an absolute easy block, and it was end up being like a 6-7 yard loss. They tackled Jefferson in the backfield, and I think it was on third down too, and Jefferson got up and was pissed. And I remember like the commentators never touched on why he was pissed. They just said, oh, he's just really upset about that play not working. No, he's upset because Johnny Munt is awful. And I'm just that's one person I think about. You talked about, Cam Akers. Johnny Munt has a job because Kevin O'Connell's here. And
and again, that goes back. Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up because that aligns perfectly with my Cam Akers take. It's like, because there's no coincidence that these are Rams guys that were on his roster with him.
Brandon Powell too, but Brandon Powell contributes. Brandon Powell was an LA Ram too, so
it's just one of those things, and I get it. You build relationships with people, and you just build relationships with people, and you hold them to a standard, and you have respect for them. And if you have an opportunity for them to come with you, you're gonna do what you need to do to get them on the team. I get it. You know what I mean? Like I get it, but then again, it's like, don't drag it on. Like, for example, like you said, Munt, like it's over with, bro. Like you tried it 1 year. After that 1 year, it should have been over with. You know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. And just like with Cam Akers, in my opinion, he's a free agent. Let him be a free agent, man. You know what I mean? Like, why are you going out of your way? You're waiting for him to pass a physical and all this extra stuff. Like the running game, you boosted it. You went out. You already know Ty Chandler's a beast. And you went out and got Aaron Jones. Like you did what you needed to do for the running room. You know what I mean? Like running back room for sure. To me, I feel like the running back room is damn near done. We got to see because we got the rookie too that everybody was high on last year. You know what I mean? Everybody. What's the guy from UAB? Number 27.
Oh yeah.
Drop his name in the chat, man, because I always forget his name. You know what I mean? Because Because I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody was, oh, he gonna be this and he gonna be. I said, man, look here, man. Like, and last year I gotta say this, I was a little mad just due to the fact of not having our boy Cook. So I was upset with all the running backs, to be honest with you. So like I was blocking out McBride. There we go. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Dwayne McBride. Yeah.
yep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Shout out Sarah. She's on the
shout
ball
out Sarah,
every
man,
time.
coming in the clutch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, look here, man. I'm like, yo, I'm not going for that. Like, you ain't gonna tell me no 7th-round running back just gonna come in and make up for what we losing out of Cook. It ain't happening. You know what I mean? And again, but this year, all right, let's get it. Dwayne McBride, let's get it. Like, let's see what he can do. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, just let him come up and be RB3. Because I don't, like you said earlier, I don't think Kene is like a true running back. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I just don't think Kene is a true running back, in my opinion. I think he's good at special teams. You could use him as like a gadget player on offense. You feel me? Like you run reverses or sweeps, so just those type of plays, maybe screens, things like that. But as far as turning around, handing the ball off to him, I just don't think he's that guy. I just don't. He needs more space. He needs to be able to see the field, because when you turn around and just get the ball, you got to make quick decisions, something that Alexander Madison was struggling with last year that we seen. And, some running backs just struggle with that, man. You know what I mean? So I don't think Kene's that guy. But yeah, man. SK in the building, man. So I dropped it a little bit, SK, but I didn't really I didn't go too big into details. I said we're gonna drop more details tomorrow. So everybody knows Skull Fest 2024 is popping, man. Corner Bar. My boy SK in the building. Let's go. And I seen you just sent me the QR code too, so that's good. So all the steps are coming together, man. We're gonna be releasing the information tomorrow, man. SK got the big Twitter account, so y'all will see it on his Twitter, man. I'll post it on my little account too, and post it on my YouTube and all that good stuff, man. But yeah, man, we're excited, man, to do this again for the second year. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see everybody out there, man. Man, Travis, man, we've been on an hour, 7 minutes, man. I know you probably got some stuff to do. I got some stuff I need to go do too, man. I'm gonna go take me a little shower, man. You want to leave out with anything, man? You got any shows coming up in the next couple of days? Anything going on?
Still trying to pin down a date to go live, but I'm so busy right now during the summer. So I think I'm just gonna chalk it up as the summertime is just gonna be whenever I can get on, I can get on. But if you and everyone else out there needs somebody to come on, hop on live. I'm your guy. Just hit me up on Twitter. Or whatever, and or YouTube if you already subscribed to me on YouTube. But yeah, I'll try to get on as much as I can. I'll try to do a podcast as much as I can. I think the last time I uploaded was about 2 weeks ago. Okay. Other than Kyrie's unfortunate accident, it really ain't been much to talk about. But once camp starts in a couple weeks, I'll be pumping out some content. But yeah, just shout out to everybody subscribing and following me, and appreciate everybody. I see little nephew in the comments too, JJ.
Yeah, man. Shout out nephew, man. Shout out nephew. I was just gonna get to that, and then shout out Imposter for the $5.
Shout out to everybody.
For sure, man. We appreciate everybody that was in the building tonight, man. We love y'all to death, man. He said, yes, sir, rap in a minute. Hey, Jeremy, shout out Jeremy, man, for sure. Hey, listen, again, before we go, training camp literally next week. So if I go live Friday, the following day, or I think Luff had it was the 21st or something, but listen, football is underway, man. You feel me? Vikings football, to be specific, because I don't give a damn about nobody else. I'm a Vikings fan before anything. So I just can't wait to watch the Minnesota Vikings, man. It's lit. It's starting to become, we made it through the hard part, y'all. We made it through the long, drawn out months. So we're here now. Thank you, Travis, man, for tapping in with your boy, man, for sure, and doing this show tonight, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, we definitely gonna keep linking, man. We'll keep linking up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Reach out to you when I go live, and if you want to tap in, man. Payo, man. Shout out Payo, man. Payo, the Rams family, man. With the Ramley. Shout out to the Ramley over there, man. We don't play. Oh, we do play all this year. Yeah, we play all this year, Payo, man.
Thursday night game.
Yeah, we got to tap in together, Payo, man, and do a show together for sure, man. So yeah, thank you to him, man. He helped me out a lot when I first started YouTube, man. Just a big supporter of him, man, and much respect for him. So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all, man. We love y'all, man. Skull Vikes, baby. Let's go.